What's going on, Jerome's? So for about a half an hour when I've been working putting this together, there's a lump on the back of my chair. I assumed it was silver. Turned out it was just a sweatshirt. My connection with the cat is a lie. Anyways, it's a beautiful Saturday. Birds are chirping and stuff, and it's time for another Vikings news dump. So, of course, Vikings-Rams is the focus right now. Monday night, shifted to Glendale, Arizona. There's a lot of odd things with this game. Again, prayers and support go out to everyone affected by the wildfires in Los Angeles. And for the Rams, I mean, it's been a weird week, right? So, moving to Arizona and not getting formal practices in until today, and I don't know. Don't know how it's going to affect the Rams. McVay's one of the best coaches in the game. Stafford is the OG, and this is something where if they come out flat, you can't really blame them. But also, they could rally and galvanize and make a run at this thing. So who really knows? But the Vikings, we got some ish too. 14 wins, can't sneeze at that. Only losses of the season were to the Lions, allegedly, who ended up the 1 seed, and now the Rams. The Vikings have full-on revenge tour going on, and also Sam Darnold. This is the man who's fixing to go 4-0. Just Sam Darnold one time, and also tying it back to L.A. I mean, both Darnold and Kevin Connell do have Southern California ties, so it's something that obviously both sides are affected, but hopefully it's a good game. Hopefully the Vikings come out on top, move on to the next round and all that stuff, because again, look in these eyes. He's got the eye of the Darnold. Dude. That's what we got, man. Something we also got is Justin friggin' Jefferson, named to the first team All-Pro yet again. His second time being first teamer. First was in 2022, and also has been named to the second team twice as well. And also Andrew DePaula, 3-time All-Pro. It's fantastic. Or that you're a certified badass when you can miss 4 games and you're still the best long snapper in the National Football League. Plus, I know that long snapper Twitter is really upset that Andrew DePaula is getting his flowers, but whatever, choke on it. That's it. But Jefferson and his guy Jamar Chase with the Bengals, the only unanimous selections on offense for the All-Pro team, 50 out of 50, which is something that you respect. And love me some Jefferson. Just like I said, it's almost like he's so good that it's boring, but it certainly is not. We have to appreciate that we're watching a first ballot Hall of Famer as well as potentially the greatest of all time in real time. Pretty fantastic. Also fantastic is Andrew Van Ginkel getting some love. Second team All-Pro on the edge with TJ as well as Nick Bonito. Van Ginkel and Bonito actually tied, so they both get the honor. But Van Ginkel, 2 pick sixes as well as 11.5 sacks this season, nearly doubling his career high last year of 6, which is good. It's pretty good. Also, coming back from the Liz Frank injury that limited him in some offseason and training camp work, back with Flores and doing some amazing things. It's really, really fantastic to see. But, of course, the All-Pro teams is like the Pro Bowls as well as Hall of Fame. It's not who gets in, it's who got snubbed. And Byron Murphy Jr. Tied for the league lead for cornerback interceptions with Humphrey with 6, as well as you got Jonathan Grenard. I mean, Grenard's just been a badass, man. Just that quick interior pressure. Also, he's been great against the run. He's been extremely disruptive. 12 sacks this season, just shy of 12.5, which was his career high from last year. 80 pressures for third best in the league, behind only Trey Hendrickson and Myles Garrett, who were named first team All-Pro. So, yeah, I mean, Grenard definitely had a case. Murph definitely had a case, but it's okay. Hopefully this pisses them off sufficiently, and the Vikings are able to make some hay in the playoffs because the Vikings defense is going to need to bring it against Stafford. And I'm still pissed. So the Rams offensive line is back to healthy, and the Vikings were basically playing the Rams JV offensive line, and they had 0 Goose and D'Angelo Russell sacks on Stafford and 3 pressures. 3. Yikes. It's rough, man. Something is fantastic, though. So the Wilfs are the best owners in professional sports, and they just get it. And it's great to see this. Vikings announced that the team and the Wilfs Family Foundation are providing a $1 million contribution to support on-the-ground relief efforts in communities affected by the California wildfires. I think as of last count, the NFL, various teams have gathered up about $5 million to support the relief efforts, and it's really fantastic that the team and the league are paying it forward, and the Wilfs are just first class all the way, top notch. Also top notch is what the Bidwells and the Cardinals did for the Rams. Again, division rivalry, except in times like these, that certainly does not matter. Schefter, the Cardinals are sending two of their team's 777 plays to Los Angeles. It's not the best joke. Full-on dad joke. If they sent two of the team's 777 planes, where's the other 775 going? Picking up the Rams team and staff, their families, 6 dogs and 2 cats. Yes, 6 dogs and 2 cats per an official, and bringing them to Arizona tonight. Cardinals are turning over their training facility for the evacuated Rams to use in advance for a Monday night game versus the Vikings at State Farm Stadium. So, the Rams get some semblance of preparation. They were able to practice Friday and also practice today ahead of Monday night. So it's a great move by the Cardinals because, but we made this joke yesterday, but those cats are definitely McVay's, 100%, right? But it's tough to focus if you're a player, coach, staff member, if your family's being affected by the wildfires, and they're even let out of practice early on Thursday to take care of things because Woodland Hills had been getting some fires and some smoke issues there. So I'm glad that things are working out, and like I said, this has been an odd week because we haven't been our usual bombastic talking ish because some things are larger than football, but I'm hoping that the Rams are able to show up and it's a competitive game, but the Vikings end up winning. That's where we're currently at. So take no pleasure at all if the Rams are effective negatively in terms of preparation, because you just don't want to win like that, with circumstances like this, and also the game being moved from LA to Arizona, but I don't know. Also, so tickets went on sale on Friday, and Rams as well as Cardinals season ticket holders had first dibs, apparently. But 52,000 tickets were sold to Rams and Cardinals fans in a 2-hour priority window. Now, a couple of Vikings fans have mentioned that as long as you had the code, you were able to buy. Also, a lot of the tickets bought, let's be honest, in the 2-hour window for Rams and Cardinals fans were probably going to be resold on the secondary market, which we've seen tons of tickets popping up all over the place. Now, initially there was full-on price gouging, but eventually the market just came back down to earth. So it's pretty reasonable to be able to get into the stadium now for Vikings fans who are interested. But I don't know, this seemed like a imperfect way to go about things. I understand, giving the Rams an advantage because this should be a home game for them. But Cardinals fans, it's no smoke off their nose. They're not in the playoffs, they're whatever, and most Cardinals fans are probably just going to resell the tickets. All right, so I understand the wanting to fill the stadium, and Rams fans are close. Is hey, maybe Cardinals fans are close, but maybe Cardinals fans would want to see the Rams lose to the Vikings. Don't know, but I still expect a lot of the stadium to be purple. Kevin Demoff, great executive for the Rams. What an amazing show by our fans to buy over 35,000 tickets in initial pre-sales. There's still tickets left over, yada, yada. Now, State Farm seats 63,000 fans, so beep, bop, bop, boop, boop, at least half should be Rams. I doubt it. I still think that the Vikings fans, especially just anecdotally, are really gobbling up tickets on the secondary market. So I think that there's going to be a lot of purple in that stadium on Monday night. But, of course, we shall see. Also, we'll see slinging Sammy Darnold, a.k.a. America's quarterback, getting off the mat. Now, a lot of people jump shipped, myself included, for an hour. I was really pissed off about Sam Darnold because it was just more disappointing because it just feeds into the narrative of the Stephen A. Smith and the loser jabronis out there. It's Sam Darnold's going to turn into a pumpkin. He didn't all season. And it wasn't just him putting up these hollow, empty calorie stats. Darnold played really damn well under pressure against great defenses, against good teams, when it mattered most. In the fourth quarter, in overtime, Darnold was able to make plays, but he was just ass. No thank you against the Lions. And it was just so deflating and disappointing because it was the biggest game of the season up to that point. But now this is the biggest game of the season up until next week, which that will be the biggest game, and then the week after, and then 2 weeks after that. But regular season didn't end the best, but Sling and Sammy Darnold, a.k.a. America's quarterback, still had a hell of a year, and there's more to come. 4,319 passing yards, which is third best in team history behind Dante and then some other guy. 35 passing touchdowns, second most in a single season in team history behind only 2004 Dante. Dante had 39. He could have had 5 more against the Lions. I mean, they were there. He should have had 5 more. That game's going to bother me for a long time. Maybe sometimes when I'm feeling down on myself, I'll just watch it to make myself feel worse. I don't know, man. But a 1 to 2.5 quarterback rating, 6th best in team history. Also, 14 QB wins, first. Now remember, lots of people say, "What about the '98 Vikings? Randall Cunningham, 15-1. Cunningham only started 14 games, went 13-1. Right? Brad Johnson was starting quarterback at the start of the season. Remember, they had brought Randall Cunningham, the preacher, from Las Vegas out of retirement because he had been a granite counter installer, which I feel like that's really good work, although it's a very durable good. But I don't know. Also, now the rage is the cement countertops, except they're easy to stain, but I don't know. But Darnold is going to be back. He's going to be stunting on these hoes. I just can't wait. Ginger, Jesus, save us. Lighten up all the candles. 4-0. Here we go. That's right. Also, here we go. Hey, someone who wasn't there for the first Rams game, TJ Hockenson, who, again, going back to Lions tape, Hockenson should have had 10 catches for $180. It's just wide open all over the middle of the field. But Hockenson has been named the Vikings 2024 Ed Block Courage Award recipient. Now, the Ed Block Award goes to a player that demonstrates perseverance, courageousness, as well as sportsmanship, and that's exactly TJ Hockenson this season. Fighting to get back from that ACL and MCL, definitely did that, and now fully healthy, got a chance to be the X factor heading into the playoffs because Hockenson's gonna have some big games. I can feel it, man. Something I also feel is Kevin O'Connell. Extend him forever. I don't care. Quarterback whisper. Things will take care of itself, but I don't know. There's some thoughts that Monday night is a kind of a sizable game for Kevin Connell. Per persuasion. Per Gessling on Access Vikings, if the Vikings lose and drop to 0-2 in the playoffs under head coach Kevin O'Connell, this could have financial implications in extension talks between ownership and O'Connell at season's end. Quote, but the thing I would say is playoff games have major effects on optics, on narratives, on legacies, things that owners weigh when they're making decisions about who to pay going into the future. If Kevin O'Connell goes into discussions with the Wilfs, which they've going to have after the season, 0-2 in the playoffs, I think that's a different discussion than, hey, y'all haven't won a lot of playoff games around here. So, I mean, maybe the Wilfs were gambling before the start of the season when everyone on their mom predicted the Vikings were going to be bad or mid at best, that, hey, we'll extend Quayson and Kevin O'Connell after this year because they'll be cheap. And then all of a sudden they won 14 games, going to make a run. I don't care. If the Vikings bow out in the wild card round or they win the Super Bowl, extend Kevin O'Connell. Like, he's proven that he's one of the best young up-and-coming coaches in the league. He's one of the best young offensive minds, even though he can't call red zone plays to save his life. Also, still, why are we going shotgun, 3rd and 4th and 1? Nah. But he's proven that he is a quarterback whisperer. You got J.J. McCarthy in-house, and J.J. and Kevin O'Connell could be together for 10, 12, 15 years. So, yeah, ink him up. Ink him up. And speaking of O'Connell, so I'm still undecided. Now, what's frustrating about me and the Lions is that I like Dan Campbell. Like, I like the whole rah, 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 rah. I like that whole shtick because it works. Will it work long term? Will it work without Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn covering his ass? Don't know, right? But I still wonder if Dan Campbell is just all show or if there's some actual dough going. Like, either he's the biggest idiot in the history of the National Football League or he is the most devious Machiavellian strategizer ever in pro football. Because this is great. Sarah Barshop, beat writer for the Rams. The Rams have a screenshot of the interaction between Kevin O'Connell and Dan Campbell where the Lions coach said, "I'll see you in 2 weeks," printed out and hung in the locker room. So after the game, see you in 2 weeks. thinking that the Vikings would beat the Rams and everything else goes according to Hoyle in the NFC bracket. Then it'll be Vikings at Lions in the divisional round in 2 weeks after the Week 18 game. So the Rams taking this to heart. And again, I say that either Dan Campbell's an idiot because it's kind of a dumb thing to say, kind of a pompous thing to say, well, we're shooting in 2 weeks. But also, it could be genius in that Dan Campbell gave the Rams all of the motivational bulletin board material that you could ask for, because maybe the Lions don't want to see the Vikings again because they know that they can't beat them 3 times. So now Kevin Connell and the Vikings are getting all the smoke from the Rams for bulletin board material that the Lions coach said. So I don't know. Like I said, there's a pretty thin line between genius and idiocy. And, Dan Campbell, habitual line stepper. I don't know, man. But either way, going to get things done. And, it's a weird week. And obviously, our hearts, go out to everyone affected by the wildfires. But in the football game, hopefully the Vikings whoop some ass. That's it. Then we'll move on, and you play who you play, whether it's the Lions, whether it's the Eagles, whether it's who the hell cares. Going to move on, going to whoop some ass, and go from there. But that's it. Vikings news done for this wonderful Saturday. You guys are the best. You know what to do. Skull production value.